There is a reason why I am the best matchmaker in the business, and I'm gonna prove it to you once again. We're gonna give the fighters, the main fighters, the winner from UFC Tampa, their next fight in this video. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Salam alaikum everyone.
The last event of the year, UFC Tampa, is a wrap, and we have some big winners that need a new matchup. If I would also match up the losers, I think this video will go on forever and I don't want to bore you. That's why we start right away. I only match up the big names that I see as big names that won their fights, right? So let's start right away with Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson won his fight in spectacular fashion with a knockout, and I think he deserves to fight for a ranking spot next because he is unbeaten in his last 7 fights in the UFC. He had 1 no contest in between, and he's on a tear. He looks phenomenal. I would like to see him fight the number 15 ranked featherweight, Edson Barboza. I think Edson is also not a small guy for 145, so he also has a good reach, because I don't want to see Sean Woodson fight any of those small guys like Dan Ige or something and just have a 3,000-inch reach advantage on them, right? Edson Barboza is a phenomenal striker as well that could give Woodson some problems. It's a fun stylistic matchup and gives Woodson a chance to enter the top 15. Then Michael Johnson, who knocked out Othman Azaitar in beautiful fashion. That ground and pound chop was absolutely vicious, and I would like to see him because he wants to make a run for the top again, right? So that's why he needs to get that contender status again. You can't just match him up against older guys just to give him some cool fights and whatever, because he's not on his way out. He wants to be a contender again. And he's not in the spot yet that he should fight for a ranking, but I think this fight, the winner of that fight, gets a ranked opponent next. And he fights Mike Davis next. Mike Davis is, in my opinion, one of the best guys at lightweight, one of the dark horses of lightweight. He's an absolute freaking beast. So I know I'm pretty hard on Johnson by matching him up against Mike Davis, but hey, Mike Davis is coming off yet another injury. He had a lot of injuries, and I think this one was his bicep or something. He was scheduled to fight Drew Dober for a ranking and then had to pull out because of an injury and is now out again since a long time. I think the beginning of the year is when he last fought. So I think this fight makes sense. Winner of that gets a shot at the ranking. This will be a fun striking battle. Even though I favor Mike Davis in that fight, but it will be a fun fight, and since he wants to be a contender, he should face contenders. Joel Alvarez, who finished Drakkar Klose in crazy fashion. Joel Alvarez is, in my opinion, if he continues like that, a future champ 2, 3, 4 years down the line. I think he deserves to fight for a ranking. The only guy he ever lost to in the UFC. No, he lost to Damir Ismagulov is his name, right? Also, but the big loss that he had is against Arman Sarukian. But other than that, he really just kind of styled on any opponent he faced. If you finish Drakkar Klose like that in an absolute dominant fashion, he deserves to fight for a ranking, in my opinion. And I would really like to see him face Jalen Turner, who happens to be the number 15 ranked lightweight. I think this stylistically is an absolute beauty of a matchup. Both long reaches, both very good strikers, great grapplers, even though, yeah, he got taken down and controlled and finished against Moicano. But yeah, Jalen Turner's coming off a loss, a tough loss, so he needs to defend his spot, his ranking. Joel Alvarez wants to fight for a ranking spot. Makes perfect sense in my opinion. Both more or less young, dynamic, fast, long guys, no Diddy.
This guy tickles my pickle.
Then Navajo Sterling, the guy from Isis Gym that seemed to be the big hope for, Australia, New Zealand. But then, yeah, he dominated Tokos, but he did not really impress me because Tokos searched for a way out, but he couldn't finish him. But anyways, he should fight another guy who fought in the card and lost, Vitor Petrino. They're both physical specimen at light heavyweight. Both were kind of in a similar position. Petrino coming off a loss against Jacoby. Before that, he had a shot at the rankings against Anthony Smith, also lost there. So he's kind of a guy that's close to the rankings, but got set back a lot. Navajo Sterling just made his debut, so he can't fight someone that like is in the rankings or something. I think this is a great stylistic matchup and makes all the sense in the world for all the reasons. Then Daniel Marcos. He called for Jose Aldo, but I don't want to see Jose Aldo fight another unknown guy that no casual knows and just a tough matchup because Daniel Marcos is a freaking beast. I would like to see him fight for a ranking though, of course. He's on a crazy winning streak on the UFC and he just beat freaking Adrian Yanez. I mean, Adrian Yanez is a freaking beast. So he should fight number 12 ranked Kyler Phillips. Why? Because Kyler Phillips is one of the only guys from the top end of the rankings, top 15, that comes off a loss. He comes off a loss against Rob Font, and stylistically it's a very fun matchup. Both of them are very well-rounded, great strikers, fast guys, and I do believe that will be a fun matchup. Kyler Phillips should defend his spot when he just lost to Rob Font, and Daniel Marcos deserves to fight for a ranking. That's why this fight makes a lot of sense, right? Then we have Dustin the Haniac Jacoby, who just knocked out the just mentioned Victor Petrino. And I think because you can't, even though he is a name that people know well, he's nowhere near a ranking or not at the right spot for a ranking right now, right? Because he just lost a couple of fights before that in a row. So I think he should fight Ryan Spann. I do believe they're in a similar position, same as I said with the Petrino and Sterling. They're in a similar position. They're both kind of close to a ranking, but just not there. They both had some tough losses in the past and stuff, both rebounced. Let's make them fight each other. They're both strikers, should be a very fun fight stylistically to watch. Make that fight happen. Then we have Manel Kape. I believe it's absolutely crazy to give him a title shot. That would be absolutely stupid, and he does everything to not get a title shot with his behavior. I think he's close there with that phenomenal performance that he had, but I think the fight that makes sense for him is Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval is ranked number 2. He's right there for a title shot, but Brandon Royval needs another good victory to get his title shot, especially if Pantoja wins his next fight. I think Pantoja should fight Kai Kara-France. If Pantoja wins his next fight, then Brandon Royval has a very tough argument, same as Brent Moreno, because they both lost to Pantoja several times. But if he beats Manel Kape, there's no denial that he's next for the belt, right? And Manel Kape desperately wants a title shot. If he beats number 2 ranked Brandon Royval, he's next for a title shot. So I think this makes a lot of sense. It's a fun matchup as well. They're both straightforward, aggressive, into your face. This should be a fun fight. Make it happen. Then Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson should retire, in my opinion. I hate when people just can't let go. He's 40-something years old. He's a featherweight, bro. Stop it. You have a beautiful wife, beautiful family. Your wife said you should stop. Please stop.
Please stop.
That's the perfect way to go out with a hard-fought fight and a beautiful knockout victory. Cub Swanson, happy retirement, please retire. Then, the main fighters, Colby Covington. I think Colby Covington, there is a match made in heaven, which is Gilbert Burns. He talked about Gilbert Burns in the past. He said he got knocked out by a hooker, right? Because he got knocked out by Dan Hooker, which was kind of funny. And Gilbert Burns comes off 2 tough losses. Burns is ranked number 8 in the lightweight, in the welterweight division. Colby is ranked number 9 in the lightweight division, also comes off 2 tough losses, right? And both lost only to the best guys. They didn't lose to some freaking number 55 ranked random cuck, you know what I mean?
What the fuck is that?
They are both still elite, but they have something to prove, and they have to prove that they still belong there. And they're both up there in age. If they fight each other, I think loser should retire. There should be something in the contract, loser retires. Winner has one last shot for a run for the title then. You know what I mean? I think this matchup would have a lot of impact, would mean a lot, because they're both at the same stage of their career. So make it happen. Colby versus Burns. This should be a fun one. And then the last fight that I would make is kind of the one that he already made, Joaquin Buckley. I think it's perfect if he fights Kamaru Usman, because I really like the stylistic matchup there. Usman could really give Buckley some problems with his wrestling. We saw it with Colby, because I think Usman is even better with getting the takedowns against a guy like Buckley than Colby is from the wrestling stylistic standpoint. And I think Buckley could really give Usman some hard problems on the feet. Usman's at the tail end of his career, but he's still ranked number 2. So if Buckley beats Usman, he's right there for a title shot, which is what he wants, right? And Usman was still in talks to fight Shafkat for an interim belt and stuff like that, so Usman is still in the title picture. If Buckley beats Usman, he's right there for a title shot. If Usman beats Buckley, he beat the up-and-coming, crazy, young, aggressive guy. So he has a reason again to say, hey guys, I should be next for the belt. So I think that fight makes perfect sense. I like that fight more than a Leon Edwards fight. I think Leon Edwards should fight, what is his name? He just beat Gilbert Burns, Sean Brady. Those are the matchups that I would make if I would be a matchmaker, which I actually should be. Please tag Dana White, tell him, sign me. But write your opinion in the comments. Who do you think should fight who? Which matchups do you agree? Which matchups do you not agree? Write it in the comments, you guys. I would love to hear your takes. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. It's one click, means a lot. Check out the Bloodsport merch. It's just another click. Links in the bio, bloodshop.net. My merch store, phenomenal merch. Worldwide free shipping with the code FREE. So check it out, support me. I would appreciate that. Stay bloody, and until the next one. Bye-bye. Bloodsport out.